Today we're talking about the art of dressing well and why it matters. And later, in our relationship segment, we've got straight talk about frenemies. Let's dive in. I'm Sandra Silverman, and this is Party's Over. Are you ready to try something new? To ditch the drama, look younger, and finally step into your power? I'm Sandra Silverman, best-selling author, successful entrepreneur, and a mom of 2 amazing kids. I've been through it all, from bullshit to Botox, from broken up to badass. I've done the research, had some work done, and kissed a few frogs along the way. One thing I've learned, when you're faced with an obstacle, the best thing to do is to give it a hard look and say, party's over. Only then can you move on to the good stuff. Welcome to Party's Over. I'm here with my friend Veida, and we're going to start today with Danielle Klein. She is a digital stylist. She lives in Los Angeles, California, and we're so happy to have you here. Hi, Danielle.
Hi. How are you guys?
We're good. How are you? We both know Danielle very well, and she is my stylist and personal friend. And
I shop with Danielle. And we are friends as well. So here we are.
Actually, a lot of people shop with Danielle because every time I'm with Danielle, it could be in New York or Paris, people come up to her from all over and they're like, are you Danielle Klein?
Oh, she's a total celebrity.
Total celebrity.
Yeah, 100% a celebrity. She's a styling celebrity.
She's the best. So what we wanted to talk about today, because we wanted to relate the styling to reverse aging. So what we wanted to talk about today is, what do you think, like what can women wear to make themselves look younger, not dated? I know we talked before about denim, always keeping current with your denim. So what other tips can you think of?
I mean, always keeping up with all of the trends while, making sure it's appropriate for your body type, making sure, not everybody could wear wide leg jeans, but doing it in a way that fits your body is so important. And then another thing is like keeping up with accessories that are on trend while still remaining like classic with a little bit of edge. And I always tell my clients, like, constantly updating your basics and then like adding fun pops, whether it's like with a cute blazer or, a bright color pair of shoes, and just making it so everything is like tailored to you is definitely one of the most important things for keeping, age appropriate while still not aging yourself.
So it's really important for our audience to know that no matter, even if you want like a super crazy designer outfit, if it doesn't fit your body properly, then it's not going to look good. You're better off going to Zara, even Amazon, finding something that's inexpensive as long as it's tailored to your body. Would you agree, Danielle?
Oh, 100%. And I always say like mixing and matching high and low too. It doesn't even matter if most of your clothes are from Zara. And if you have like the right Chanel bag that's on trend, you just made that Zara outfit look like it was Chanel. So it's all about the tailoring, it fitting your body, and then keeping up with the most current trends for sure.
Speaking of bags, everybody doesn't have this crazy bag budget. So what's a good entry point bag for, say, somebody who can't buy a Chanel, but they're ready for something a little more elevated?
What are we talking price-wise?
Let's say, let's go under 1,000. Let's do different. Under 1,000, what would you buy?
Let's see. I mean, probably around 1,000 mark, maybe a bag from like the Row, which is very classic, timeless, but also very on trend. Like the young girls wear it to, 65, 70. So it's
Speaking
just
of
like
bags, I don't know if we can go here or not, but how do you feel about the Airbase game? Do you play the game? Do you not play the game? Do you not want to talk about it?
I'm trying to play the game, so it's a hard game to play. But
yes, it's a very hard game to play.
It's a very hard game to play. It's definitely like timeless, though. If you can get in that world, it's a good investment. It really is. So definitely elevates any outfit.
I couldn't agree more. I mean, honestly, as far as elevating an outfit's concerned, I feel like even if you're walking around in your workout clothes, but you throw on a nice bag, it really steps it up a little bit.
Mm-hmm. And the sunglasses are very important too. If you want to just wear
She's big with sunglasses.
sweats around and then you put on a really great pair of sunglasses that's on trend with the bag, that's all you need.
So
Right.
as far as sunglasses are concerned, so what happens, like for instance, the little sunglasses look horrible on me. They just do. So in my case, do I just go with what works on my face shape, or do I try to go with the trends to stay, relevant? Like, what's the best way to go about this?
I mean, sunglasses are very hard. It's, you kind of do have to fit it to your face, but also while trying to stay on trend. Like right now, the oversized sunglasses are very big, like the Bottega.
Which is amazing for me.
Yeah, but like for me, that's very hard. I have a very small
Yeah.
print. So, it's just about trial and error and like finding the pair that fits your frame while still on trend. So
Sandy looks good in the little, but you look good in the big too. You have a good sunglass face.
Thank you.
You really do. I only look good in the big. The little does me dirty. Nothing little. Like, it's just not a good look for me.
But I
Oh,
agree
that
with
part.
Danielle that is important for your denim, your sunglasses. And those are inexpensive pieces for people to buy because you can go to Zara and get very inexpensive denim.
exactly.
You could do your entire wardrobe from Zara as long as it fits and looks great. And then you just pair it with a nice bag and nice shoes.
Yeah. I mean,
And I feel like
Oh, go ahead.
don't underestimate the power of alterations, right?
Oh yes, no. Everybody must have a master tailor. It doesn't matter if you're buying designer, non-designer, as long as you have a master tailor.
So
I feel like if you take the Zara and you tailor it, it can look so much more elevated than even, a $3,000-$4,000 outfit.
Oh, yeah. And you never tell people it's from Zara.
So, question for you, and we can use me as an example because we've known each other for a long time.
Yeah.
Okay, so say you have a friend and they go through a phase of dressing that is not the most attractive. We can go back to my puffy sleeve era.
Remember when she
I
was
dressed
dressing like a prairie girl?
Do you remember this? I remember that flash. Like, do you say something? Like, if you know that somebody's clothes are probably not doing them the justice they deserve, what's a polite way? Like, do you say something? Do you keep it to yourself? Like, do you say something?
Well, when you were doing that, I was just laughing.
Yeah, you should have said something.
I thought you liked it. You were sending me these outfits, and then you were like, "Oh, Brian."
Oh, my husband
he asked you if you were like an Amish person.
Oh, my husband was so mortified. I went through this phase.
It was horrible.
It was like early on in motherhood. We had just come out of the pandemic. And, it was a weird time.
She remembers.
Oh, I'm sure everybody remembers. It was a really bad time in my wardrobe. And so what had happened was I went from being like in my 30s and, living in LA and dressing like, a Kardashian to becoming a suburban mom. And then the pandemic happened. So I was like hauled up in my house. And then I decided I needed friends. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to make friends and I'm going to start dressing like a mom. So that way maybe the moms will be nice to me.
But they weren't. They still didn't like her, even with the prairie clothes. She had puffy. She wanted to do a party, and she wanted it to be a dynasty theme because that's how puffy she was. You remember Dynasty?
The bigger the puff, the better. And literally, finally, it wasn't Sandy or you that said something. Finally, my husband was like, okay, no, he didn't say anything. Now that I think about it, this is what happened. So So I wore this Love Shack dress.
With the headband?
Oh, I had a headband and
I remember.
Oh, yeah. And so,
And you videoed him.
Oh, so he's making fun of me, but that was not the catalyst of change. This was the catalyst of change. I walk in to this restaurant on the eastern shore of Delaware, okay? And this woman comes up to me and she goes, "Oh, is it your wedding today?" And I was like, okay, it's time to get rid of these clothes. We're calling Danielle.
It's so funny. I remember the one outfit you wore to Charlotte's birthday. I thought it was your costume, but it wasn't.
Oh, you thought it was a princess theme? Oh, that
was a princess
good one.
theme.
There was a lot of puff in that. It was like a puff sleeve.
I was like,
and
is this a costume?
I don't remember that one.
You don't remember that one? I can still remember. It's so vivid in my
And then
mind.
there was like some layered pearls involved.
Yeah.
It was not.
It was over the
good.
top.
So I think the moral of the story here, there's two parts to this. Don't try to fit in with your clothes.
No.
Do not.
Never.
Because it's not going to help. Like if people don't like you, they're not going to like you if you wear the same clothes as them.
No.
Right? And two, you're not doing your body a service by wearing clothes that don't fit you properly. Like shop for you, don't shop for other people.
Exactly.
And you
Very
can still
important.
stay on trend. Like right now, it's very trendy to be like boho. But I mean,
I don't wear it.
I can only go so far with boho. Otherwise, it's not going to look good on me. Some
No.
people can pull it off, and I know that I can't. So I still have to stay
You pull it off better than I do.
with what looks
I mean,
good.
you have a little boho, little bit sprinkled in
Yeah,
there.
you have a sprinkle.
No, a little
like
bit.
you were the Chloe and
Yeah, a little bit, but I'm saying I couldn't go full on boho. It
No,
would look awful.
no, that's
Could you
also
imagine if
not
I wore
your
it?
style. Like
Right.
everybody has their own style where they have to incorporate the trend in a little bit, you know?
So for
Not
our
full.
audience, it's better for them to walk away from this segment knowing that your sunglasses are important, your denim, clothes that fit your body.
Oh yeah.
And what else would you add anything else to that?
I mean, like Veida said too, accessories, bags, so important. Like we talked about, I don't care if your whole wardrobe is from Zara for clothes. It's so important your accessories are on point because those are just the final touches of every outfit. That and the tailoring, so important.
I feel like it's really important to find what works for you too. Like I know for me, for every day, right? A pair of good jeans, a pair of Chanel flats, and a cute tank top, cardigan over my shoulders, right? I have so many different varieties of that. It's unreal, but I feel like I look put together when I
It's
leave, or at
easy.
least I hope I look put together. It's easy, and you're really only spending on the shoes.
Right. So but if you can't afford to spend on the shoes and the bags, you can also find shoes that look similar
Absolutely.
Exactly, yeah.
and bags. Yeah. You don't actually have to buy the
No.
name brand. You can find shoes that look similar, but that look.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So can we give some of our audience tips? So let's say you're a woman in your 40s or 50s. What are things to look out for so you don't look silly or you aren't looking too young or too overdone?
I mean, yeah, I think that goes back to the fit of the clothing. Like you don't want anything that's too oversized, anything that's too mini or too cropped. Like everything just needs to be appropriate to your age. So if somebody in their 40s wants to wear something that's a little more cropped, it's not going to be like to here. It's going to be a little bit of skin showing with a high-waisted pant, you know, or you want to do a mini skirt, then making sure that you have the tights with the boots and it's an appropriate length and just making sure that it fits. Honestly, the fit is so important to keeping you youthful but age appropriate.
Danielle, how can our viewers and our audience find you?
So you can find me on my Instagram, which is styled by Danielle Klein. And yeah, I have a TikTok too, which is the same. It's styled by Danielle Klein. And yeah, best way to find me.
Great. This is great. Thank you so much. Do me a favor, hit subscribe, like, and share this episode so we can grow our community here at Party's Over. We'll be right back. Sometimes a friend can turn into a frenemy. And then what do you do, Veida?
Well, I think the first thing we do is define what is a frenemy. So how do you define a frenemy, Sandra?
A frenemy to me is somebody who is a friend, or you think that they're your friend, but they actually don't really like you.
So I agree with that, but I want to add a little something to it. I think that a frenemy can also be a friend that doesn't like you, but you could maybe be friends with somebody, but secretly not like them. So you could be on the other end of it too. Like there's people that I'm friends with them, but I don't actually like them. I would consider them a frenemy.
Oh, I see what you're saying. So you're actually on the other end
You
of
could
this.
be on both
you,
ends of it.
They think that you like them, but you don't really like them because you don't want to mess up a friend group.
Or like so sometimes I think it's easier just to have a friend as opposed to an enemy, right?
Right, exactly.
Like you don't
I
want
see
it
what
to
you're
be
saying.
weird when you go out,
Yes.
whether they're in your friend group or like, you just don't know. Like I don't want to walk into a room and feel uncomfortable when
But
I
are
see
these
somebody.
close friends, or are these just friends, like acquaintances?
I will say this, I think in my 20s, I definitely had a lot more close frenemies. I would say at this point in my life, if we're close, you're my real friend and I love you dearly because I'm not gonna let you in my circle and let you have exposure to my world if I don't care about you and respect you. And I think that respect is mutual, right? I don't hang out with people that I don't respect, and I don't hang out with people that don't respect me at this point in my life.
Yes.
But if you rewind it 10 years ago, I think I had a lot of frenemies in my life, which is really sad.
No, that is really sad. I see what you're saying. So the frenemy could go either way.
Exactly. And I think in dealing with the frenemy, I think there's two ways you can look at it. You can look at it where you can just go out and end the relationship, right? You can say, listen, this person no longer serves me. I'm just gonna end this, do a friend breakup, right? Or you can stop and think about all the other relationships that are connected to the frenemy.
I agree with that.
Right? And sometimes it's easier to keep this frenemy in your orbit, but make sure you're not telling them about anything that's really going on in your life. You keep it very casual. Don't tell them the inner workings of your life at all. Like, I think this is something you have a hard time with.
This is something I have a
You
really
have
hard
a
time
really
with.
hard time with this because you're so trusting and you also are an open book,
Yes.
right? So I think it's really hard for you to be friends with somebody without telling them everything. And the scary thing is the frenemy will take that information that somebody would give a friend and they use it against them.
100%. So
Right.
I'm in a situation right now with somebody who I thought was a friend, but now I know that she's a frenemy. But she doesn't know that I know that she's a friend of me. So I'm just keeping her sort of at a distance, but we have mutual friends. So even the mutual friends don't know that I'm viewing this person as my friend of me.
Is this really hard for you not telling
Yeah,
them your
so
mutual
I'm just-
friends? This has got to be eating at you. I know it is.
So for the first time, I'm actually keeping this to myself. Nobody knows that I think this person is a friend of me, and she thinks we're friends, which we're friends, but I know that deep down she doesn't really like me and that she's has some jealousy issues. But I'm actually keeping it to myself.
As you should. And I think that that's where life as an adult gets really complicated, right? Because you're in college, you're in your early 20s. Like, what's really on the line if there's somebody that doesn't have your best interest at heart? Like, whatever. Like, they interject if you're talking to some random guy at a bar or something, right? Then you get into later in life, and there's financial implications to having a frenemy. There's familial implications to having a frenemy. These people can mess up your marriage.
Yes.
They can mess up the relationship with your family, with your parents, with your children. So the stakes are a lot higher the older we get
Yes.
as to who we let into our lives.
And I've been in those situations as well. And those people I actually cut out of my life because they were detrimental to my family, my other friends, my kids. So now I just have one friend of me.
You know, the other thing with this is with going with keeping the frenemy at bay. You know, the stakes are so high, sometimes the implosion of ending it with the frenemy could be way worse than just keeping the frenemy in your orbit, but at a distance. Like keep them the furthest away planet as opposed to the closest planet in your orbit.
So for our audience, it's probably best in these situations that if you have a frenemy that isn't detrimental to your family, your kids, your significant other, then maybe continue to keep them in your orbit, but as Veida said, at a distance. But if it's somebody that's very detrimental to your health, your kids, your family, your significant other, then you have to cut them out of your life.
Yeah, so I think this is not a one-size-fits-all answer. I think you have to evaluate each frenemy situation individually and proceed with caution.
Definitely proceed with caution. And if you have to cut them, then, oh well,
Snip, snip, snip.
Party's over. Thank you for tuning in to Party's Over. We hope you're getting some great information and support for your journey. If so, you can support us by hitting the subscribe button and telling some friends. We'll be right back. And guess what part of the show it is now?
Is it time for Spill It?
It is.
Oh, I can't wait.
And now it's time for my favorite part of the show, Spill It, where you ask questions and we give you our honest take. Here's the latest. Dear Sandy, I'm in my late 40s. I've had a little work done and I'm happy with it. My kids are in college and they've been saying things like, Mom, you look amazing. What's your secret? But I don't want to tell them, at least not now. Should I be upfront about the procedures or is it okay to let them think that I look great for my age?
I think that by the time your kids are in college, they have the emotional and mental capacity to process that their parent has had procedures. If this was a 5-year-old or a 6-year-old, of course not. But I think that it's important to be honest with your children about this because just like the general public, you don't want to set up this false expectation of how people look, right? Especially if you have a daughter. So for instance, your daughter, you don't want to make her think that people are just born looking like this because she might feel bad about herself.
100%. I think you need to be honest, especially because your kids are older and they can handle the truth. But I think it's best to be honest because you don't want them to think that you're being dishonest and you have had some surgery or an enhancement to make yourself look younger. It just didn't happen. Like you just didn't jump into the fountain of youth. So I feel like you need to be honest.
And there's nothing to be ashamed of in getting procedures done. Like since when is getting a procedure this horrible thing? There's nothing wrong with taking care of yourself. And I think the thing that is wrong is when you don't own those procedures.
Yes, I feel like whatever you've done, you need to own it, be honest about it, and that's liberating. And tell the truth. Thanks for spilling it with us. Got something on your mind? Send it our way. Nothing's off limits on Party's Over. You can support us by hitting the subscribe button and telling some friends. Until next time, remember, protect your peace, protect your style, and protect your joy.